Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Create Your Own Cozy. On today's video, I am adding IOD transfers to Thrifted Items, not even grabbing any paint this time around, but I'm specifically looking for wood and enhancing the beautiful warm tones so that my booth can have more of a fall vibe, and some of these things might be staying with me as well. So if you want to see what I come up with, stick around. So I started looking through my stash and decided to get out the new Winter Botanist transfer book. This was in the recent IOD holiday release. And as you can see, it is very non-Christmas. It reminds me of fall, it reminds me of winter, but there's not, I don't know, it's just, I cannot wait to use this on some smaller projects because you can see that these are smaller scale transfers. So I found this wooden board at the thrift store for $2.09 and decided to clean it up a bit, take all the stickers off, and it felt like there's a little bit of a waxy residue on it. So I decided to run 240 grit sandpaper over the top of the wood where I wanted to put the transfer. I sanded the surface, then cleaned it up, and then decided to go directly on the wood with the transfer. I used the transfer stick that comes with each transfer book and just slowly worked my way around the transfer, burnishing it into the piece of wood. Now, if you're doing it on a piece of wood, you need to make sure you keep your stick flat and not use the corner because you don't want to make marks on your wood. Next, I'm going to take the carrier sheet and just rub it over the top and make sure that the transfer is all in, and then I'm going to go over it with Sweet Pickins clear oil wax. I'm just going to rub it in, let it sit for at least 10 minutes. I let it sit a lot longer than that, and then later you can come back and kind of buff it and you get this beautiful rich finish in your wood, and it wakes it right back up. What a great way to revitalize the wood. Now, I thrifted this little candle holder with metal that I thought I was going to price them separate but style them together, and thought, what a great little upcycle from the thrift store. Now, I wanted to put a transfer right on this wooden bowl that I thrifted. The inside looked really good, so I used a scrap of another transfer just to see if it would attach and it's not too oily. And the good thing is it attached. So I scratched that off and knew that I could go straight with my transfer. A couple of videos ago, I did this piece and I sold it pretty quick for $28. So that is my motivation for these warmer wood upcycles. With this one is the clementine transfer. I just love the color of these transfers in clementine with the look of raw wood. So I did my little test. The transfer is going to stick to the bowl, and I am just going around. It is a rounded surface, so I am just doing portions of it at a time and making sure everything sticks. And as I move along, I peel back the white part. Obviously, this is for decor purposes only, as I'm putting the transfer on the inside. And then I am going to go over it with that oil wax again Honestly, I think this one could look nice with a little plate rack or a plate hook on the back and put it on the wall. But at this moment, I am just calling it a decor bowl. That would look beautiful stacked in a vignette with this warmth and this nice little color on the inside. Now, the outside of the bowl was in super rough shape. Originally, I was thinking maybe I'll paint the outside of the bowl, but I decided to try to oil the outside and see how these little dents behave. And so I'm using the very last part of my dark oil wax. I'm trying to use the very last part before I open another bottle. And you'll see that this oil wax goes down into the crevices and makes those dents kind of disappear. I probably could have done the same thing with clear oil wax and it would have done the same thing, but there was a dark tone in this wood and I didn't want to pretend like those nicks weren't there, so I was like, well, let's just oil them up, make them be part of the story. But you can see, look how beautiful this is. Again, I'm waiting probably a solid 24 hours and then I come back and I buff it. And there is this nice shine to this beautiful wood. Nothing needed to be painted. Such an upcycle. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. The bottom of this little cheese cloche thing has been in my stash for a minute, and it's the roughest piece of wood that I'm working with today, but decided to, don't forget, you can cut up the transfers to work for you. I grabbed some pieces, I laid them out, and you will see later that I did cut up the pine cones a little bit. That's the great thing about the transfer. You can cut them up and lay them over top each other, and you really cannot tell in the end that you've changed them. If some remnants are left on the carrier sheet or it comes off too soon, you just line it up and rub it in. And you can see right here, I am using the corner. I should not be doing this, guys. I did have some dents in the wood because I forgot to just use the flat side. I'm using the corner to try to get it to stick, and the wood is pretty soft. So do as I say, not as I do. Be patient with wood. This step is totally optional. I went over the top of the transfer with 240 grit sandpaper. The wood was already kind of in rough shape, so I wanted to kind of match that. And I forgot to tell you, I did that with project number 1 as well, just a little bit, and this is before any oiling happened. and then I put oil over the top of it. It seals the transfer, and as you can see, it absolutely brings the wood back to life. I have been waiting for this wooden tissue cover for a minute. Hadley had it in her room for a while because she wanted it, and I waited for her to say she's done with it, and now I'm like, let's bring this thing back to life. I'm getting back out the Clementine transfer book, finding one that fits a side of this perfect, and just transferred it on, put some oil on it, and it's basically the same story. These beautiful transfers, plus wood that looks sad, plus some oil to bring back the wood, equals gorgeousness. I feel like the next time you guys see these wooden pieces while you're thrifting, you might just grab them because they are beauties just waiting to come back. If you guys are new here, welcome to Create Your Own Cozy. I would love it if you hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let me know you are here. For project number 5, I started trying to use this crock. I was trying to add some dark colors to my booth. You can see it's in kind of rough shape. There are not any maker's marks on it. I cleaned it well. I did not feel any oil, but when I went to put this transfer on it, you can see this transfer would have been so gorgeous on here. The transfer refused to stick. I don't know, like, hindsight, I could have sprayed the whole thing with clear Rust-Oleum and maybe that would have helped to have some type of a barrier. Was there an oil on this? I don't know. But guys, it would not come off, and I sure did try. And then I was like, oh no, this is one of my favorite transfers in the book. I cannot lose this transfer. So then it was like, abort, let's just try to save the transfer. So I picked it up, and while it had not stuck to the pot, it had started to come away from the carrier sheet a bit. So I went and found some glass and decided this was the way I was going to go. And wouldn't you know, it transferred right away. So it wasn't the transfer, it was the object I was trying to transfer it to. And I am so glad this particular transfer worked because I just think the orange on there is beautiful. I'm gonna style this up with some fall ribbon and some burlap on the inside for staging. And then I found another one. They're not exactly the same, but to have a little friend, and think that this is a great addition to fall organization, and pretty sure it's going to sell in my booth. for my next project, I just had this little, I don't know, cup. It was nothing special. I spent 25 cents on it. I wanted to add this little transfer from the Winter Botanist just to add a little tiny bit more interest to this. Don't ask me how I did this, but somehow the stem on here is not lining up, and I was originally going to try to put this bird over the top of it, then realized that looked a little strange. So I would rather him be in the center. I'm going to put him aside. Then I'm going to go to the other. I was going to try to just use the end and connect the stem just like this, but that didn't work so well. I ended up cutting off one of the leaves and just covering up the part that did not connect, and that was a way to kind of hide my transfer mistake. I've had this amber bottle for a minute. I've put it in my booth every fall and it hasn't sold. It's got some scratches on it, and I decided, what if we made this look a little better with one of the full-size sheets from the Clementine transfer book. Now, because it does round at the top, I went ahead and cut nice clean lines so that I could just do everything that fit on the bottle first, and then add my extras when that was done. I forgot to mention this in the other glass and ceramic projects. The transfer does need to be sealed. So I go over it one time with clear DIY wax, and I do wipe it back right away so that it can come off the glass and just stay on the transfer. And that is just a way to protect the transfer from any staining or a little bit of wear. And I went ahead and added a little bit of floral to this, and guys, this one is not even going to make it to my booth. It's going on my mantle. Maybe it's time to decorate for fall, but this one is going to be the start of it. What do you guys think? So I worked through a lot of projects this week that I had intended to get through because I had thrifted these items, but just adding some transfers or some oil to that beautiful wood really did enhance these items, and I cannot wait to add them to my booth and add this beautiful warmth to my space. Let me know in the comments below, does this make you want to thrift different? Go grab some of those wood items and maybe just bring them back to their former glory. Not everything has to be painted, although good bones are good. Not everything has to be painted, not everything has to be complicated. Just some fun transfers from IOD can do the trick. As always, the IOD transfers and the oils that I used, and the Sweet Pickins oil that I used today is on my website at createyourowncozy.com. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite project was. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell to all so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And the best way to help my channel grow is to share it with people that you guys think would enjoy it as well. Guys, I am so thankful you guys are here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check me out over at createyourowncozy.com.